A shadow has moved behind the curtain of your life. It wasn't the wind. It was the presence of someone who once walked away, now creeping silently back toward your story. They told you they had let go. They convinced you they no longer cared. But under a veil of silence, a plan has been forming in the dark. Their name hasn't passed your lips in weeks, but in the invisible realm, they've been whispering yours, not in love, but in guilt, envy, and unfinished business. You left a mark on their soul they couldn't erase. You became the mirror that exposed what they tried to hide. And now, they're trying to rewrite what they buried instead of facing it. Behind locked doors, your name is being discussed, not loudly, but like a breath before a scream. Their voice shakes when they speak of you, though they pretend otherwise. Someone is trying to open a door they were never meant to return through. They are knocking in secret, using new words to cover old intentions. But heaven sees every movement, every motive, every manipulation. They are not planning a reunion. They are planning a reshuffling, a disruption dressed as a coincidence. What you don't see is the hidden layer behind their silence. They have been watching, silently, obsessively, not with affection, but with a strange mix of regret and rage. A photo of you remains, tucked into a drawer they swear they never open. But they opened it last night, and they wept, not because they miss you, but because they lost control of a story they once thought they authored. Your strength has become their ghost. Ashes fall from a broken photo frame. That frame broke months ago, but they never picked it up. Their silence isn't peaceful. It's loud in the spirit, like footsteps in an empty house where no one should be. God has watched them rewrite the truth in their mind. They are building a false altar of excuses, and they plan to invite you back only to sacrifice your peace again. But divine justice interrupts intentions not aligned with your destiny. There are angels positioned at your windows. What they're planning won't reach your door. Still, you must know this truth. Not everyone who remembers you has healed. Some come back not to repair, but to reclaim what they lost control of. They have spoken to others about you in hushed tones. They've tested waters, dropped your name like a lure. But even their closest confidants can feel the spiritual static when your name surfaces. You were not just someone they knew. You were a divine encounter, and they mishandled you. Now, they feel the consequence. But instead of repenting, they are repackaging, trying to make you believe the door was never closed. But the truth is, they slammed it. They walked away with pride. And now their pride has become a prison. They want back in, but not through honesty. They want to weave a new illusion, one that disguises old betrayal as new opportunity. They've studied your path from afar, seen your growth, felt the heat of your divine protection, even from the shadows. Their planning has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has intercepted the whispers. The divine realm does not sleep when danger circles your peace. Archangel Michael says, "You have been placed in a sanctuary of silence for a reason." That delay, that stillness, It was divine shielding. You were hidden from those planning ambushes, disguised as apologies. They may appear changed. Their words may tremble with sincerity. But the undercurrent still carries contamination. They believe you are still who you used to be. But your spirit has evolved past recognition. You no longer open doors, you command gates. They will try to reconnect through mutual contacts. They will send a soft message wrapped in nostalgia. But it is bait, not blessing. The spirit behind their return is unrest. They feel something slipping through their hands. And that something is the version of you they once controlled. They cannot manipulate who you are becoming, so they are trying to summon who you were. But that version of you was buried for a reason. You've outgrown the chains they once admired. They were never in love with your freedom, only your silence. But the silence has turned into thunder. Heaven has awakened around your name. Divine records have been opened. Every plan made in darkness is being recorded. Every secret conversation is being exposed in the spiritual realm. Their intentions are unraveling. You are not just being watched. You are being defended. Every hair on your head is accounted for. No plan formed in secret will escape divine interruption. You've been feeling unrest in your sleep. Sudden chills. Flashes of memories you thought you buried. That's not nostalgia. That's warning. Your spirit is picking up what your mind hasn't yet seen. Archangel Michael says, a confrontation is approaching. But it won't be loud. It will arrive like a whisper, with thunder hidden underneath. Someone is planning to resurface with a message. They will try to cloak it in peace. But the spirit behind it carries smoke from bridges already burned. They still believe you don't know the full truth. They think your grace is blindness. But you see them now, fully, clearly, eternally. Divine eyes are upon this situation. Not a single word spoken in shadows escapes the light, and light is coming. Don't reach back out of compassion. Don't reply out of curiosity. The enemy disguises himself best in what-ifs. They are trying to pull you into a hallway of echoes, where nothing has changed except the tone. But the spirit is the same. It still seeks to subtract. You carry too much light now. You've crossed too many spiritual thresholds. You are no longer available for spiritual shortcuts. The door is not only closed, it has been sealed by fire, by blood, by divine appointment. Let them talk. Let them plan. Let them write letters that never reach your hands. The divine realm has already shredded the script. They will stand in a circle of confusion because God is not authoring their return. What you're feeling is not fear, it's discernment. What you're sensing is not drama, it's a divine warning. The silence before an uninvited knock. Stay rooted, stay armored, stay unavailable to what once wounded you, because something greater is forming behind the veil. Someone pure is being aligned with your soul. Someone honest is being positioned for your path. The enemy wants to sabotage before they arrive. He's sending counterfeits in familiar clothing, but heaven will not allow access to your soul without clearance. There is movement in the spirit, angels are closing doors left ajar and burning bridges you were never meant to cross again. They will feel the divine wall when they try to approach. They will stumble in confusion because they forgot what's sealed by God cannot be stolen. And now, the divine revelation. The one you thought forgot you is not just planning to return. They are planning to twist the truth so you'll reopen the gate. But heaven is already 3 steps ahead. They are being exposed before they can speak. Their whispers are becoming screams in the spirit, and the angels are silencing every syllable with fire. Your blessing is this: no past version of betrayal will interrupt your sacred future. What tried to come back will be sent into permanent spiritual exile. And the next time someone knocks, it will be the divine promise, not the ghost of deception. The silence you feel now is not abandonment. It is protection. It is preparation. The shift has begun. The imposter is being removed. The real is drawing closer. Stay guarded. Stay aligned. Stay sovereign, because the door behind you is sealed with justice, and the gate before you is opening to glory. Something is shifting behind the scenes where your name was once buried. A door is creaking open in a forgotten hallway, and the echo of your memory has awakened someone you thought had long since vanished. They wore silence like armor. They disappeared like smoke, but they never truly let go. They watched your life move forward. They saw your light stretch into places they never imagined you'd reach. And now their silence feels like a mistake carved in stone. You thought they had healed. You assumed they found someone else. But their soul never left the room you last spoke in. There is a page in their life that still bears your name. It's torn, burned at the edges, but it remains. No matter how much they tried to rewrite the chapter, you were the sentence they couldn't erase. They speak of you in secret, not to everyone, only to those who won't judge the weight of their confession. Even then, they flinch when your name leaves their lips. Their absence was never freedom. It was fear dressed as closure. They ran, but not far enough to forget. Ashes still fall from a broken photo frame they refuse to throw away. It's cracked, dusty, and hidden in a drawer they open when no one is watching. Your face haunts their quietest nights. They scroll past your energy online, pretending not to feel anything. But the tension in their chest says otherwise. You're the storm they never truly survived. They are preparing something in silence. A message, a return. But not with open hands, not with full truth. There is a shadow behind their intentions. They tell themselves they've changed. They build new words over old wounds. But the foundation still smells of betrayal. Their plan isn't just reunion, it's redemption. Not for your sake, but for theirs. They're hoping your light will cleanse their guilt. They're polishing their image before they reappear, carefully selecting which parts of the past to leave out. They want your forgiveness, but not your confrontation. Your strength threatens their illusion. You grew without them, and that growth feels like punishment to them. They blame time, circumstance, confusion, but heaven knows it was choice. They chose silence over truth. And now they are rewriting the past in their mind, trying to convince themselves they didn't walk away, trying to make their absence feel noble. But the spiritual realm sees everything, and what they're trying to clean with words will not pass divine inspection. Intentions are weighed, not just actions. They have not confessed what truly happened, not even to themselves. They are hiding even from their own soul, and still they are coming back. Not boldly, but in fragments, like glass swept beneath a rug, still sharp when stepped on. They'll start with a gentle, just checking in. But underneath that message is a script they've rehearsed, a version of the truth that leaves out the damage they did. Their comeback isn't spontaneous, it's strategic, and heaven is watching every step. Archangel Michael says, "Do not be deceived by the softness in their voice. They are still carrying the same spiritual residue. What hurt you then still lingers in their shadow. They believe enough time has passed to start over. But time doesn't cleanse unrepented intentions, and not everything buried is forgotten by heaven. You feel the shift, don't you? Sudden dreams, cold air. The chill isn't weather, it's warning. A soul tethered to your past is tugging at the cord again. But this time, you are not who you were. Your spirit has outgrown their reach. Your discernment is louder now. Your heart no longer responds to echoes, but still they are preparing, writing, planning, crafting a moment to walk back into your world. They think you'll open the door out of nostalgia, but this door now belongs to heaven. It only opens for what's been assigned, not for what once tried to destroy you softly. They remember the last look you gave them, the way your silence carved a mirror into their soul. They see themselves in it now, and they don't like the reflection. Their desire to return is not built on love. It's built on discomfort. Their life without you hasn't brought peace. They thought they could forget. They believed distance would dissolve the connection. But distance only made it louder. They still hear your laughter in the quiet, still feel your spirit in crowded rooms. Your memory stalks them like unfinished prophecy. They underestimated your healing, expected you to remain soft, waiting. But you've transformed in silence, and now their return feels like disruption. It's not peace they carry, it's confusion. They want access, not accountability. God is preparing you for this moment, not to reopen the past, but to stand in spiritual authority, to see clearly what was once disguised as destiny. They may come with apologies, with rewritten stories, with eyes that pretend to understand, but you will feel the tremble beneath their surface, the fracture that never healed, the truth they still won't name. They don't know you've already been warned. They don't know your angels have gone ahead of them. They think this will be simple, but heaven says no access, not without revelation, not without cleansing. This is not about revenge. It's about alignment, about not giving sacred space to unfinished spirits. You are not the same person they left. You are fire now. You are a gate, not a door. They remember the softness, the giving, the waiting. But now you are guarded by divine flame. Nothing enters that hasn't been purified. They can try to come back. They may even appear on your screen. But divine protocol now governs your heart. The sound of their voice may stir old feelings. But do not mistake familiarity for alignment. Your peace is not negotiable. They didn't move on, they paused. And now they're pressing play on a script that's already been divinely deleted. They will say, "I've changed." But your spirit will respond, "Show me the fruit." Heaven always demands proof. Archangel Michael says, "Do not be fooled by softness with no sacrifice. Do not trade your growth for comfort. Do not step into the same fire and expect new flames." The comeback they're preparing won't go as planned. Heaven has already scattered their words. Angels have blurred the path back to your heart. They are chasing what no longer exists. You are not a memory to relive. You are a prophecy unfolding. Your new chapter cannot hold characters who never honored the old one. You are guarded not because you're bitter, but because you've learned the cost of letting in what doesn't honor the sacred. They will feel the cold wall of divine boundary. They will realize not every door remains unlocked forever. Even mercy has structure, and now the divine revelation. They have not moved on. They have been circling the ruins of your past, hoping to build again on broken ground. But heaven has already claimed that territory and marked it as sacred. You will not go backward. You will not answer echoes. You will not open yourself to edited truths, because something holy is approaching. A soul aligned with your truth, not your wounds. A presence that doesn't return. It arrives, and the blessing, you will recognize it instantly, not because of history, but because of the peace it brings. You are not waiting for someone to return. You are being positioned for someone divinely sent. One who carries no shadows, only light. Let them plan their comeback. Let them rehearse their lines. But know this, your spirit has outgrown the story. They're trying to re-enter, and heaven will never let what once broke you break in again. You are sealed. You are chosen. You are no longer available for half, truths dressed in longing. You are walking into a destiny that requires nothing behind you. They walked away while your heart was still speaking. Left the door open just enough to haunt you, and vanished without explanation, like a ghost too proud to say goodbye. You searched the silence for answers, but silence only echoed with confusion. What you thought was closure was just the beginning of a deeper unraveling. They let you bleed while they smiled elsewhere. Their absence grew teeth in your soul, and your healing came at the cost of pieces you'll never get back. But what you don't know is, they never stopped watching. They kept your name tucked behind shadows, whispered it into rooms you were never invited to. Behind veils and fake smiles, they've been circling. Their energy flinches when they hear your name, and now they're preparing to reappear, but not because they've changed, not because they've grown, because something inside them never released you. You became a mirror they avoided. a truth they couldn't outrun, and now they want to rewrite the ending they never had the courage to face. In a place you can't see, they've been staging your return, cleaning up their words, scripting an entrance that seems unintentional. They want it to look accidental, a casual message, a soft knock wrapped in old nostalgia, but heaven knows it's calculated, not divine, designed. A quiet infiltration masked as reconciliation. Their silence was never innocent. It was filled with secrets they didn't want you to know. Secrets that still haven't been confessed. There was betrayal you sensed, but couldn't prove. Conversations held behind your back like knives. Decisions that affected you made in dimly lit corners. And still, they dare to plan a return. Not to fix the damage, but to soothe their own discomfort. They miss your presence, but not your truth. They long for your warmth, but not the accountability that comes with it. You were the soft place they abandoned for illusions. And now that the illusions are crumbling, they're crawling back to where the light still burns. They think enough time has erased your memory. They think the silence has softened your edge. But your discernment has only grown sharper. They are returning not as a new creation, but as the same storm in different clothing, a familiar shape wearing unfamiliar words. You will feel it when it happens. Like a tremor beneath your peace, like a breath of cold air in a warm room. Your soul will remember. Your spirit will stand still. Because the energy that once broke you always leaves fingerprints. They're testing the waters already, liking your photos in secret, asking mutual friends about your movements. But they don't deserve the version of you that rose from the ashes. They disappeared while you were on fire, and now they want to dance in the glow of your survival. The stage they're setting is not built on truth. It's constructed with silence and selfishness. Painted with apologies they still haven't practiced out loud. They'll say they missed you, but won't say why they left. They'll reach for you with hands that once let go without hesitation. They don't expect you to remember, but heaven kept the record. And divine justice is not blind, it's patient. They were warned before they left. Spiritually, they were told what their absence would cost. But ego deafens even the loudest alarms. Now they are reaping what they abandoned. Loneliness masked as longing, regret dressed up as fate. They will not tell you everything, only what makes them look brave, only what paints you soft again. But don't be fooled by orchestrated tenderness. They're setting a trap of comfort, a return not built on healing, but on hope you haven't moved on. They believe your door is still open. They don't see the divine seal placed upon it, a lock only truth can break. They're hoping nostalgia will blur your vision, hoping loneliness will invite them in. But what's returning isn't love. It's karma looking for a shortcut. Archangel Michael says, they're not coming back to bless you. They're coming back because they can't breathe without access to your light. But light is not a right. It's a responsibility. Your love was sacred. They treated it like spare change. Now they want it back without paying the spiritual debt. But heaven is standing in front of your door, shielding what is pure, guarding what you rebuilt with trembling hands. You wept in silence. You screamed into pillows. You survived nights that tried to unmake you. They don't know that version of you. They remember the open arms, not the wounded warrior. They remember your softness, not the flame you became. You are no longer a chapter they can re-edit. You are the book they can't afford to reopen. You are divine territory now. Their messages may feel like warmth, but look closer. They carry the scent of manipulation. They think you've forgotten, but your soul kept every scar as a warning, not for revenge, but for wisdom. They want peace, but they are bringing disturbance. Their return is not pure. It is desperate. You must see clearly. You must hear spiritually. You must not let old shadows darken your new dawn. They're not just knocking on your heart. They're rattling the doors of your destiny, trying to sneak in before you realize who you've become. This is not a reunion. It's a test of everything heaven taught you through their absence. You are not unkind for closing the door. You are not bitter for guarding your soul. You are not cold. You are chosen. Let them set their stage. Let them practice their lines. Heaven will strike the curtain before they take the spotlight. Their plan will not go as expected. The energy they carry will expose them. The truth will trip them before they reach the center. And when it does, they will face the weight of what they abandoned, not in your arms, but in their own conscience. Archangel Michael says, there is a divine interruption coming, one that blocks what doesn't belong, one that tears down what was built on illusion. You are protected from what you don't see. You are covered from the rehearsed return. You are shielded from words not born in truth. They had their chance. They used silence as a weapon. Now silence will answer them back. Their stage will collapse. Their mask will crack. And heaven will turn the spotlight onto their shadow. Because you didn't just survive. You ascended. And no one returns from the past without divine clearance. The person who left is not the one who deserves to return. The person they pretended to be has expired. Only truth can pass through your gates now. And here is the divine revelation. They walked away when you were vulnerable. But heaven built you into a fortress. And now, they no longer hold the keys. The one who truly belongs in your life will not hide in shadows. They will not vanish, then plot re-entry. They will arrive with truth in their hands and light in their eyes. So let the curtains fall. Let their stage remain empty. Let divine justice finish what silence began. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer open to half returns. You are walking into a future where only truth can follow. And the blessing. You will never again mistake a reappearance for restoration. You will know who is sent and who is sent back. Peace will not knock. It will live with you. You are chosen. You are covered. You are free.